Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Edelman. I'll be your professor for TSL 3080 ESOL Principles and Practices 1. So I wanted to introduce myself. My background is in early childhood special ed, so I've dealt a lot with students that come from a diverse background, be it linguistically diverse, culturally diverse, or diverse in ability levels. So for this course, you're going to be introduced to the issues, principles, and practices of teaching and associated with teaching English to young speakers of other languages. I live and I teach in Miami, so this is an all too real issue that all teachers need to face. And wherever you're teaching, you are going to encounter students who are learning English for the first time or dual language learners learning both languages at the same time. So these practices that you're going to learn about in this course will be applicable in your entire life and all of the students that you're going to be interacting with. So the goal of this course is to develop the foundations of knowledge necessary to prepare pre-service early childhood teachers to understand the concepts upon which second language acquisition and teachings are based. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot about theory, you're going to learn about practice, and we're going to do it in a way that you will be completing application-based assignments. So I'm not going to ask you just to regurgitate in a paper. You will have to make it meaningful and apply the concepts in a meaningful and relevant manner. So first and foremost, I want to make sure that you understand how to use Blackboard. Blackboard is going to be the platform and the interface that we are going to be interacting on. Everything that I want to release to the class, everything that I want to announce is going to be done through Blackboard. So make sure that you can access the announcements section, the messages section. Make sure that you can post in the discussion section because you're going to have to post a lot of your assignments and also respond to your peers. So I want to make sure that that's out of the way, that you are caught up with technology, that you understand how to use Blackboard, because if not, you won't be able to be successful in this course because this is a fully online course and all we do is use Blackboard for our submission, our discussions, and any assignments, any information that I want to get to you guys. So once you know that you have full access to Blackboard, and you can find this out by taking the Blackboard quiz. That's just going to make sure that your system, your computer is up to date and you have all the hardware needed. Then I want you to order your text. So there's 2 texts for this course, and I'm scrolling down to it. First, there is One Child, 2 Languages, and this is going to be the Tabor's. You're going to be using this right away, so order it as soon as possible. There's also Authors in the Classroom, Ada and Campoy, and you're going to be using this in a couple weeks, but I would order them both at the same time. Because I work for FIU, I had to say that you can get them from the FIU bookstore. However, you might be able to find them cheaper somewhere else, and I have no problem with ordering off of Amazon, getting them used, getting them electronic, whatever suits you best. I don't need you to pay an arm and a leg for textbooks, so do whatever works for you. Make sure that you order the text. Then I'm going to ask that you read the syllabus and take the syllabus quiz. So there's going to be a syllabus quiz in this course, and just so you understand all of the rules and how I communicate, and you find out a little bit about me. So that being said, let's see what we're going to talk about next. So this course, you're going to have a combination of exams, assignments, and group assignments. And I'll go into that a little bit. Let me scroll down to all of our assignments to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, so you're going to have weekly assignments. Sometimes I will ask you to record videos, video reflection. So what you can do, you can write it out in a script, you can read it, you can talk like I'm talking, however is most appropriate for you. But make sure that you demonstrate that you have internalized the content and that you are able to apply the content, that you are demonstrating that you have grown in this course. Essentially, I want you to learn, so make sure that you demonstrate that you have learned. For the discussions, I'm going to ask that you respond to peers using the dialogue toolkit. So you'll find this in your syllabus. The dialogue toolkit is just a structure of what you're supposed to put in all of your responses. If I don't give you a structure, many of you will say, yep, I agree. and that's not enough meat for a response. So I want you to follow the dialogue toolkit, which is appreciate, probe, snip out parts of your colleague's response, reflect back, connect, and then extend what they said. So make sure that you observe that structure, because I won't be giving you credit for peer responses unless they follow that structure and have a good amount of depth to them. So your first major assignment, major assignment 1 is going to be the displacement web quest, and I'll be giving out weekly videos just explaining all of the assignments in detail, what I want from you, just so everything's clear. I'll be giving you video explanations every week. So for all of your major assignments, I'll also be giving you video explanations. The displacement web quest, you're going to demonstrate your understanding of an issue that is facing language minority students and language learners with respect to displacement, immigration, or refugees. So there are many issues that are very relevant right now. For example, Syrian immigrants, Syrian refugees, civil war. These are reasons why people have to move to countries that they don't speak the language. So you have to kind of get into their perspective, give me a good amount of background about this. And this is going to be a group project, so you will be able to support each other and work together. Major assignment 2 is a TSL philosophy statement. This is going to be due the first week of class. So the purpose of this is to develop an initial TSL philosophy statement explaining how you would approach working with students in your class who don't speak English. And be sure to keep this statement, because you're going to refer to it at the end of TSL 4081. So you're going to compare your first statement and your last one and see how you've grown. And I will give you a breakdown of what you're supposed to do for that. Your major assignment 3 is your case study action research project. In this project, you are going to conduct a case study on a student, an ESOL student. So I'm going to ask that you look for an ESOL student, and you're going to have to permission them from their caregiver and send in your parent consent form. The case study student is an ESOL child, and once you've secured a family for your project, you're going to explain to the guardians the purpose of your project, and you're going to meet with me via Adobe Connect, and I can help you work you through this. But this is a project that when you read it, you might get a little overwhelmed, but once you're doing it, this is the best learning experience for you, working with a student, working with a family, getting more of their perspective and how they grow. So we're going to have you working directly with a student. You will have 2 exams. They're going to be open book. You'll have about a week for them. I haven't had issues in the past, but of course, if you have any issues, you can contact me before the due date. I don't accept late work. If you have a medical issue, you can please give me documentation and we can talk about that. But please do contact me before the due date. When I get a lot of emails after the due date, this happened, I can't really do anything for you, but before the due date, I'm aware that you're being proactive and you're working with your issue, and I can help support you. So contact me before the due date. I'm not a scary professor. I'm very approachable. I am responsive to your needs and your issues, so please do contact me as soon as possible if an issue arises. We'll have an Adobe Connect meeting on January 17th at 12:30. I'll give you the direct link so we can have a chat with however many people are able to make it. This is a TaskStream course, so you'll need to upload several assignments to TaskStream. Make sure that your TaskStream is current. I'm not able to release final grades without confirmation that you have uploaded to TaskStream. So make sure that you are ready to go with your TaskStream. So your assignments are going to be listed weekly, and all assignments are due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. That never changes unless it's a final and there's an issue at the end of the semester. I might give you a little extension. I might have to have a due date at a different time, in which case I will certainly tell you if the due date changes. That will only happen at the end of the semester. You can contact me via Blackboard if there is an emergency and you don't think that, or you need to get in touch with me ASAP. You can call my office, leave a message, and they give me a transcription of your message via email, and I can call you back right away. Lastly, I am typically a laid-back professor. I can be a little bit tough with grading because I hold you to a certain standard. All of my objectives will be clearly listed. Everything that I want from you, I will tell you via written explanation, video explanation. So, I can be a tough grader, but I'll let you know exactly what I'm grading on. I want you to demonstrate that you have learned and grown in this course. So if I'm expecting 2 paragraphs and you give me 2 sentences, I won't be giving you credit because you need to show me that you're putting forth that effort and learning the content and you're able to present it that way. The only way I can judge your growth is through your assignments. So make sure that you are really reflecting how much you're growing in your assignments. That being said, you don't need to give me novels. I'll let you know there's going to be a maximum, there's going to be a minimum, so make sure that you fully address each objective and you satisfy each objective, but you don't need to give me thousands of pages. Okay, so you can save your writing and just make it succinct to the point and show me that you've grown. Lastly, I have zero tolerance for plagiarism, for cheating, and trying to take advantage of the late work policy. So, in the past, I have caught people plagiarizing. I have not passed them. In certain cases, they were not able to retake the class. So make sure that you don't get tempted to plagiarize. I know we're going to be using external sources of information and your books. So whenever you do take information from your books, make sure that you put it in your own words. Make sure that you cite where the information came from. You can give me the last name of the book, the publisher, the publishing date of their book, and that's good. If you do need to use a direct quote, you need to put a page number. So that would be last name, page number, and the date of publishing. You don't typically need to use that many direct quotes. If I get assignments that are 40, 50, 60% direct quotes, that is not really an assignment that came from you. That's an assignment that came from somebody else, so you won't get credit for it. And for direct quotes, the rule of thumb is if you cannot phrase it in any other way, then you use a direct quote. But typically you can paraphrase, so make sure that you do paraphrase. Cheating, the same thing. The only assignments you're allowed to work with each other on are group assignments. Everything else is individual. If I see exams that are worded the same, I'm going to assume that you were working on it with somebody else and you'll both get called to a meeting with me. So please don't do that. Don't put me in that position. I don't want to go there, and neither do you. It hasn't been that long since I was a student, so I know all the tricks. I know all the websites. Just don't go there. So make sure that you're doing your own work, and we'll be good. All in all, I am looking forward to a great semester with you. Please do contact me if you have any questions or concerns.